Hey, Matt.
Hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
Bienvenuto.
Welcome to the Thunderdome.
Bitch. What are we doing?
Gamers 2 podcast.
Good call.
July 26th, I believe.
Yep.
2019.
If you get that one wrong, we have a bigger discussion. But I mean, the day I'll let you waver.
I do actually confuse 2019 and 2020 all the time, and I don't know why. I always sometimes just sit there and be like, is it 2019 or 2020?
I usually am always wrong on my days. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I'm doing this thing on the 25th, so therefore today is the 25th. But it was the 18th all along, and I'm just like, I don't know anymore.
Who knows? Who knows anymore?
Who knows? Who can keep track of a calendar? How dare they? Anyway. Yep. So what have you been up to
What have I been up to?
the last 7 days?
Nothing exciting. Let's see here. What have I done? Worked, yes. I finished Stranger Things. Finished it. Killed
Okay.
it. Murdered it.
Okay. You've murdered children.
I really liked it. I liked it.
No, good.
The
I
characters
was
are great.
almost more expecting you to be lukewarm on it, but
Well,
that's good.
I was looking forward to watching it, and when I finished it, I was left satisfied. And there's definitely characters that I like. Storyline's a storyline. Like, it's not like...
Right.
I wouldn't say it's groundbreaking,
Okay.
obviously, but it's fun. I will definitely watch season 4 when they inevitably put it out.
But what if it got canceled? What do you mean if this cult classic didn't exist for some reason? I say cult classic. I mean, it's not really a cult classic, but it will become
I'm sure it'll be
a cult classic.
something.
This fever dream that we're all currently living in.
Besides for that, doing the normal Star Trek watching with the significant other, trying to bang that out.
Literally. Trying to get that fucking out of here.
Yeah, we
Because
are.
Matt can't tolerate it anymore.
Yeah, it's starting to. We start like ripping on it sometimes. But we're in season 6 of 7 seasons, so we shall be through it shortly. Yeah, that's it. No games really. No reading other than the short interweb articles. I'm looking forward to watching Apollo 11, which I told you earlier. That's going to be interesting. I think I'm going to try to watch the Formula 1 race this weekend because it's shaping up to be interesting.
Now there's a Hamilton rule. I mean, it's getting a fun time.
It's getting interesting. Grosjean coming out of nowheres with his fucking being Mr. Speedy. He's having a good weekend. He'll probably do something to fuck it up, or like the Haas garage will just spontaneously combust.
Oh, we saw you were having a good time. Wouldn't it be a shame if something were to go wrong?
It'd be a real shame.
Bang. Oh, well, all right.
There was a fun little Snapchat. I think it was Snapchat. I don't know if it was Snapchat or TikTok. I don't know. That's like the
Or
new
Instagram
thing.
stories. I don't know anymore.
That Daniel,
Kids in your newfangled
dude. I don't know.
TikToks.
Well, anyways, Daniel Ricciardo posted a little snippet of him and 10 other drivers in an elevator.
Oh yeah, that being
Yeah.
yeah.
And I was like, oh,
Race is canceled. Elevator stuck.
yeah. It's like, that's cute. Yeah, that's about it.
Fun.
That's it. Boring week for me as per usual.
Hey, we can't all have exciting weeks. You just have 1 in 52.
Yeah, maybe.
I like to think I have maybe 10 in 52.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'll start off slow this year and then end real big. Who knows?
You could still rattle off 20-something weeks right here of just pure elation.
I could do that. I mean, I'm
Would I
not.
also think a sign of the apocalypse was coming if you ever showed up elated about anything? Yep.
It's just not in my being, I'm just not an elated person.
my favorite descriptor when I'm asked what do I think of Matt Surway is not an elated person.
Not an elated person. Does not get excited about much.
Yeah. But when he does, you best get out the way. Because it's going to last for about 3 seconds.
Yeah.
And then reality will set back in. And it's all downhill from there.
Yep. Peak real quick, burnout.
Yeah. we go to the tippy top of that mountain real fast.
Yeah.
And it's not just halfway. We go the whole way, and then we just fall off the other side.
Sounds about right. So, yeah, let's hear about your week.
My week was a big week, Matt. That's all I'm saying.
Whoa, big week.
That being said, the big week was Pokemon Go got Team Rocket.
Team Rocket.
So you know what that means? I'm still playing Pokemon Go.
Of course.
Fire Emblem came out.
Yeah. Are you doing Fire Emblem?
Played like an hour and 20 minutes of it so far.
Are we doing Youngblood?
We'll have to discuss afterwards.
Okay.
I would like to.
I'm down.
I've heard it's Destiny and Nazi Germany, which is a really weird comparison, but we'll see.
How?
Yeah, exactly. I feel like it may be like the gunplay thing might be what they're talking about.
I mean,
because you're also I think you are wearing suits, so maybe you do have abilities with the suits. But there's a lot to be said about that. Where that can be talked about at another time. But yes, I would like to do what we were talking about, do the buddy edition, and then just.
Mm-hmm.
The Division 2 had a giant patch,
It did.
so I stepped in.
How's that going?
I played 2 of the new missions.
Okay.
Holy shit.
Good?
They're beautiful landscapes.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't played them on the high difficulty. I had to play them on story first, and I haven't gone back yet.
Yeah.
They're beautiful landscapes that are massive.
Yeah, the Pentagon?
Nope, we're not
No.
there yet.
Okay.
We're at the National Zoo
Oh, yeah.
and the USMC training facility. Just giant landscapes, though. Like, everybody's like, oh, you go through the division, right? You're like, oh, I'm in this building and these things for this mission. What if you were outside in a giant zoo?
That could be interesting with different enclosures and stuff.
It would be a lot better for you and I if we just two-manned it, probably. Because there are a lot to look at.
I
There
actually
are boxes hidden in places.
I actually downloaded the update, so that's an improvement. I made a point to
That means you at least launched Uplay.
I did launch Uplay and make sure it downloaded the update, and then I was like, I'll get back to you, and then I totally forgot it existed.
Yeah, so there's that. MLB The Show had their content drop that last week.
Mm-hmm.
I've been pushing forward in that.
Yep, still chugging along.
We're moving forward. They dropped more content this week, and then I was like, oh, cool, I'll actually be able to finish before this content dropped. It's like, oh, cool, I'll be able to actually finish this one challenge and have those all complete. Yay. And then they dropped this new thing, and they went, you remember all those ones you could complete? Fuck yourself. And I was like, oh, god damn it.
Wait,
So-
like they took those away?
No, like the challenges are still there, but they added more onto them. So what the previous ceiling was is now like the first floor.
That's rude.
And I will not be able to reach the ceiling now because I don't play online and because I could do it even without playing online, but I don't play the card market the way some people do. Like some people sit there and flip cards all day and stuff like that. I don't do that. So I'm never reaching those tiers now. That has now become
Closed off.
unobtainable. There are still certain levels I will get to. I will get to what the previous ceiling was because the rewards are good enough. But past that, it's just not worth it.
Yeah. Then
For
you'll
me.
switch back to your...
I'll go doing other things and stuff like that. Then, I've made a mistake, Matt. A mistake that I don't know necessarily that I regret, but will not be a good thing leading into WoW Classic. Todd and I have started playing Black Desert Online again.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. That's a bold move, though. Because that might burn you out.
It's a bold move, Cotton. But here's the thing. The reason I say it's going to be a bad problem going into WoW. 1, burnout is a potential thing.
Yes.
2, the combat is completely different. Like, I'm pulling groups of 30 or 40 guys, and we're just then killing everything. No, Classic WoW is going to be, I pull one thing and hope nothing else just please nothing else show up.
Yeah.
It's going to take me 5 minutes to kill you, then I move to something else. So it's going to be a complete, I'm going 110 down the road, and then I just shift it into reverse. Skip all the other gears straight to reverse and drop my car right out from underneath itself.
What did they call that in the... Money lock the transmission, I think.
Basically.
I think is what they call it.
That sounds right. I've never heard of it.
Money shift. That was called
money
the
shift?
money shift. Because it's
Because it's
expensive.
Same thing about boats, man. You bust out another 1,000.
Yeah. So
So we've been doing that. I'm still dead. Harry Potter's not uninstalled, but it's there. Obviously, we had the community day at your party,
Yeah.
and we disappeared and did our things.
Yeah.
That worked out for us. And then what? I think that's it.
Nice. Lovely.
Fire Emblem so far is interesting. It's like an anime, which I knew it was.
I thought that was weird that you were getting it. I don't know.
So it was because I really liked Fire Emblem on my phone.
Okay.
The Fire Emblem Heroes. That was the first time I really
so
played it.
That's everyone's comparing Pokemon Masters to Fire Emblem Heroes.
Okay, I can see that. But Fire Emblem Heroes, I'd watched people play the Fire Emblems before, but I had never played them.
Mm-hmm.
And then I played Heroes on the phone. I was like, oh, okay, this would be kind of cool. But I got tired of it at a certain point for like the way some of the mechanics in the game worked. And then I was like, I'll give this a shot. Because this is like, it's a Fire Emblem on the Switch. It'll give me something to play on the Switch because really I'm not playing anything right now other than Tetris and whatever. And so I'm doing that. But the actual cutscenes, not the in-game cutscene where you're clearly your character having a dialogue conversation, but where they've animated it, you're watching an anime.
Yeah.
It's actually, I don't know. It doesn't surprise me, but at the same time, I'm looking at it and I'm like, I'm just watching anime now. I'm not doing anything. I'm just watching anime.
Yeah, but I feel like a lot of Nintendo games take that approach.
Right, but it's the way the animation and styling and everything looks that I'm like, this is anime.
Yeah.
Not like, hey, we're going to do some of these cinematics and like, Mario doesn't look like anime.
Yeah. There's another
like
game recently that did that with it had anime cutscenes, and that was like a thing. I can't remember what the hell it was, but
But yeah, when they actually have, I'll see if I can pull one up after this. They actually are like, I'm sure that if you took all the gameplay out of it or in-engine stuff and you just did these cutscenes, you'd watch
like a feature length.
You'd watch a feature length anime.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, am I on Crunchyroll? That's weird. And then, watching the sports, not reading anything right now. Got a couple things that I might read come August when their audiobooks release. But, sports has been good.
Yeah?
Yeah. We're reaching trade deadline, July 31st.
Anyone making moves?
No, there's been a couple small moves. Nothing I consider.
Any rumors? That you follow the rumors?
There's way too many rumors.
Okay.
Go talk to John Boy. There's
Okay.
way too many rumors. I don't have time for that. But speaking of things I was listening to, I listened to only one episode. Their 5th episode. Their 6th came out today. And they had 4 more, obviously, before that, if you can do numbers in your head.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But,
whoa.
Listen, for us, what do we get to? Maybe 15? 11 today. So, 5 is sometimes pushing it.
Yeah.
Especially in a slow week.
Well, this is a slow week. I just really stretched it out.
But they do John Boy Media does a podcast called Talking Baseball, where they run on Monday and Friday, I think, are the 2 days, and they discuss Monday and Thursday. Might be Monday and Thursday. It's either Monday, Thursday, or Tuesday, Friday, whatever it is, and they recap kind of like the series and stuff that had happened before then. Very well done. It's for some reason, if you're not somebody that personally knows us and listens to this, which, I mean, I'm just being honest about our audience, probably isn't many. If you like listening to the way we do it and you also like baseball, go listen to that because it is exactly us discussing baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I could just sit down on that podcast and go, oh yeah, huh? Yep, cool. This is what we're talking about. Cool.
Interesting.
It might be the first thing I become a patron of on Patreon.
Oh, wow. All right.
$2.
Get in on the ground floor.
$2 bottom tier of John Boy Media. We know a lot of people that are on Patreon.
Yeah.
I've never backed any of them.
Wow.
I have promoted them otherwise
Mm-hmm.
by just discussing things.
Yeah.
I have never pressed the money button. Now, one of those groups is also under the umbrella hat of Rooster Teeth, and I pay Rooster Teeth directly, so that's different.
Yeah.
They don't
Same kind of similar concept.
I do it in a roundabout way. I filter my money through a laundry service called Rooster Teeth.
Did they
And
end
then-
up speaking of? Did they pass Achievement Hunter?
Oh, we're talking about a different group. I don't know now.
Oh. I thought you were talking about Funhouse.
No, they don't have Patreon. Kind of funny. It's the only one that has it.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I wouldn't give them Patreon.
I don't know.
money at this point.
They passed at one point, and I'm sure it's probably gone back and forth now. They just
Okay.
kind of always are in that perpetual,
Yeah.
50,000 subs either way.
It's kind of impressive, though, I feel like.
Oh, it's super impressive, but it's also what there's a lot to be said from my sheer arrogance as a fan about it,
Mm-hmm.
and the couple thousand of us or so that came from Inside Gaming with them. I'm like, this has been happening the whole time.
They got
But
promoted.
they finally got to a place that allows them to do what they want, like allows them to be just more of them.
Mm-hmm.
And promotes them and has an audience that fits exactly like the whole marriage of the two groups was perfect, and everything has just been shit and rainbows and piss and sunshine.
That sounds
I couldn't be more happy / proud of people that I've only met for about 5 minutes of my entire life, and that's over multiple meetings. That's combined time.
and telling everyone else I told you so.
Oh well, I'll do that for anything. That's just a known. There's recordings of me on this podcast saying if I'm wrong, I'm not. So
Oh, that's true.
I was right.
Yeah.
That was clipped and I think posted to our Twitter, but I'm not positive. So yeah, I get requests for audio clips sometimes for things I've said or done or will do or.
Sounds
It's not good. I can
interesting.
get caught in some bad things, but then again, I usually just own whatever I say.
It's out there. It's on the interwebs.
Yep,
It's permanent.
that's true. Diamonds are forever. I think one of the before I go into the new releases, one of the memes that describes me best, that I think fits me pretty damn well. What do you think I'm about to say?
I don't know. I'm curious. That's why I'm making faces.
I was wondering if you had one, like you could just be like, "Yep." This.
I don't, but I don't have a repository of memes in my cranium, so
I don't really have a repository because like if we were to go to meme economy, I'd be just way
Yeah.
out of my loop. But
yeah.
it's easily Hannibal Buress from the Eric Andre show doing the "Why are you booing me? I'm right."
Oh, okay.
It's "Why are you booing? I'm right." It's exactly for a lot of things. Just because you don't want me to be right,
That's fair. That's
and
a
because
fair.
I'm saying controversial thing, I'm right.
Yeah.
I understand you don't like it. That's fair. I don't like usually what I'm right about sometimes. Happens.
Well,
Here's two things I'm right about, though, Matt. I know for damn sure that they're called the new releases. And two of them, the only two that I have on this entire list this week, you don't look at the list and tell me there's nothing on there because I know you want to. But the only two I have on the list are the two we talked about, Wolfenstein Youngblood and Fire Emblem Three Houses.
I didn't realize that Youngblood was like straight up $40.
For the deluxe, I think.
Yeah.
I think
That's crazy.
I think non-deluxe is 30.
I don't even know if they're like, I don't know if you can get the non-deluxe in physical copy
Hell, you might not be able to, honestly. That's possible.
because that's all I've seen is deluxe.
Huh. Interesting.
They're just like, you're taking this deluxe and this buddy pass. Go play the fucking game, scrub.
You go right now and you kill them Nazis.
Them Nazis.
Go get your baseball bat and make more Inglorious Bastard references.
I'm having like meat sweats, I think.
Ooh, so we should talk about that real quick.
I think it's a combination of the meat and the Red Bull.
That's probably really true. I somewhere left my voltage.
It's you left it downstairs.
Ah, shit.
I was like, he probably meant that.
I
Apparently
didn't,
not.
but I'll be all right. Dinner tonight was made by me, and I had said earlier in the week to our social media director. There, she has that title. She'll never let that live down now. Our social media director, I was like, I need an idea for dinner. I want to do burgers, but I want to do something. I don't want to do just burgers. Like, I can go to Walmart and buy a box of 36 frozen patties for $5 and grill those, but that's not really going to get me anywhere. What do I look like, McDonald's? So I went to the store with the idea. She's like, oh, just stuff them with cheese or something. Have like a cheese bomb. I was like, I like where your head's at, so I'm going to do something completely different. So I went to the store. I got some 80% Angus beef, 3 pounds and change. Low on the change side, like 3.10 pounds. Grabbed 2 fresh jalapenos and went home. Now, mind you, I bought other things. I didn't just, buy those things and leave, but I bought a fresh tomato. I bought a fresh onion. I bought some fresh lettuce, and I bought some fresh hamburger buns from the bakery section. And I went, I know what I'll do. I'll take this 3 pounds of ground Angus, throw it in a bowl, slice up the jalapenos, throw those on into the meat, sprinkle it with a little bit of cayenne, dusting, sprinkle that with a little bit of onion powder, sprinkle that with a little bit of garlic powder, just light dustings as if you walked outside and you saw a little bit of dew on your lawn. And then mash it all together and punch it and mash it and punch it. And then take that 3.10 pounds of Angus beef and make only 6 patties out of it. Large patties. Man's patties. Oh, and this also, into that meat, I forgot. I had shredded cheese in the fridge from the last time we did something, so I threw that into the meat. 6 large patties, grilled, 5 minutes each side, almost turned into a flame-broiled concoction at one point. And, according to my co-host, they turned out pretty good.
Yeah, they were delicious. The jalapeno was a good addition, and they were delicious. Although, as with all good things, the price needs to be paid, and it's being paid in discomfort.
Because we both ate 2 of those, what are probably roughly a 1/3 pound or more burgers.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's be honest, man. I don't weigh my meat. I just grab a chunk of it, slap it down, go, that looks about right, and then just kind of finesse it to make it look nice. And then throw it in the fridge.
I only weigh it when I'm doing the smash burgers.
Yep.
It's
But
a nice little ball.
I'm gonna. I don't name things, but I feel like that should be called a Killian Southwest
Killian Southwest.
or Southwest Killian.
All right. I mean,
Just because then I'll know what I mean myself for my own recipe. Because yes, is that a recipe other places? You bet your ass it is. Did I read anybody else's and just make it up as I went? I didn't read a single other person, and I literally made everything up as I went. So I'm feeling pretty good. Is it simple? Is it not really a recipe? You're correct. There are no measurements to this idea.
I was just gonna say I don't think you measured anything, so it's gonna be interesting to recreate.
It's as good as a recipe as an old recipe you get from some people where they're like,
oh yeah,
take 6 handfuls of whatever. How big are your hands?
My mom's like, when she tells us a recipe, we're like, all right, how much? She's like, I don't really measure anything. I just kind of like, throw it in.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay.
What do you think the worst thing is to watch on cooking shows? Because everything's already pre-portioned usually.
Like,
and even if it's not, they're just like, oh yeah, you throw in a little bit of oregano and then a little bit of this. And you're just watching them just huck things into a pan. And I'm like, I have no idea. But if it's going on the grill, I have a pretty good idea of what I'm doing. If it's a stovetop or I'm baking something, especially if I'm baking, no idea.
See, I feel like when
though, give me a Bobby Flay style grill master, I'm all right.
I feel like when you're baking, ingredient proportioning is a little bit more important.
Right, but same with like a stovetop thing. So say you're like doing a stew or anything like that, or like making a sauce, especially making a sauce if you want to kind of have like a thicker sauce or a cream.
Yeah.
But I just want to make my meat taste really good. So I stick jalapenos in my meat.
Drink pineapple juice.
Different discussion.
Oh, my bad.
Doesn't do anything for your meat. Doesn't.
I mean, in a roundabout way, it kind of does.
How far do we want to take the analogy?
I'm just saying. Actually, you know
If you
what?
were drinking the blood, if you
wonder-
were drinking the blood out of the burgers tonight, then yes, I would agree with you.
I wonder if like pineapple juice, if you used it as an ingredient, like you made like a Hawaiian burger.
I could do it. I could make a Hawaiian burger. I wouldn't use pineapple juice though. I'd use chunks.
Pineapple chunks.
Or
yeah.
sorry, not chunks. Tidbits.
Tidbits, and just put them right in the patty, and then
I
grill
would
it
put.
up.
I would put a very minimal. I might put like a handful. I might put like a tablespoon in the meat, or even I might put a tablespoon of liquid, or a teaspoon
Yeah.
of liquid in the meat, and then I would do a tidbit type like glazed topping idea on top
Yeah.
of the burger.
That's what I was gonna say. I do juice in the burger itself, and then like grill.
I would probably just caramelize them a little bit so they were a little bit more of a gelatinous than a complete liquid, and then just use them as like a not a chutney, but just kind of like a paste on top of the burger.
Mm.
But hey, I got a few more months to play around on the grill.
Yeah.
Who knows what I'll get up to next week when Nate does his own sausage.
Should we just do burgers for the rest of the summer and just do like a crazy different burger every week?
Just every time when one of us is sitting there thinking of something, be like, I'm going to make that into a burger.
Yeah, yeah.
Breakfast burgers. I almost did a hangover burger. I was really tempted to do a hangover burger.
I'm tempted to do like a gyro burger or a gyro,
Yep.
whatever the fuck you want
And-
to call it.
I did see some people talking about that one, and I was like, that'd be interesting to try.
With like ground lamb though. Do it like legit.
I don't know if it was ground lamb though, but yeah, I think it was
interesting.
I think they had actually used like a burger and then cut like the preformed patties and then just cut them to fit it into the shell.
Interesting.
But yeah, I almost did a hangover burger, fried egg and
Dude, fried eggs on burgers it's legit.
yeah, I almost did.
It's
But then I
legit.
came up with the Southwest thing, so I was like, I want a little bit of heat.
I should recreate the burger I had in Gettysburg, which was like it was like I had the fried egg on it, had a little bit of maple syrup on it.
Yep.
Woo!
Hangover breakfast burgers all day.
Delish.
And then what you really do for that is you make it a French toast bun.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Creative Corner, where we're going to eventually start talking about video game news.
Someone needs to make there probably is one like a cooking simulator, but it's like more of like a chef simulator.
Yeah, but Chef Simulator, I need to be able to taste everything I'm simulating. That's
I know,
the
right?
problem.
That's
It's like, oh yeah, these things all make sense, but unless I actually taste it and then can make adjustments, it's not going to help anything.
True. They should make a mobile game that's a chef simulator, but then like it's multiplayer in the way that like people can look at your recipes and like
Try
and
them
vote
out
on it
and
and stuff and be like, oh, this is a good idea. This is a terrible idea.
I think they just call those like online cookbooks, but yeah, I know what you mean. Like allrecipes.com or something.
Yeah, but if you make it into a game,
Right, then I have more incentive to actually
you
do
add
it.
in the microtransactions, you profit.
Yeah, you pay me $1 to not see my 3-hour lifelong story in front of the recipe. Back on the porch in 1945, my grandfather made this cornbread for some... Shut the fuck up, I want the recipe.
The worst
Oh
is when
my
they don't
God.
format the recipe in the or either. So
they-
like
yeah, if they don't
you
format
have to look through the article, be like, where? All right, what happened here?
And then in 1962, somebody said, why don't we put a tablespoon of butter into the recipe? And then you keep reading, and then you find out in 1987, they took the butter out and swapped it for mayo. And you're like, I fucking don't understand, and I want to die. Anyway, please get into the news.
All right, number one. Microsoft is once again tweaking its Xbox One dashboard design and removing the Cortana digital assistant. The new design includes quicker access to Xbox Game Pass titles, Microsoft's Mixer service, Xbox Community feature, and the Microsoft Store. Microsoft's Xbox Insider Chief Bradley Rossetti said, quote, "We've heard your feedback and have continued to iterate on Home to get you into your gaming experience faster and keeping more of your content front and center." Do they call it Home? because it's home and it's capitalized. So I'm assuming that's weird. I never knew that.
I assume they mean like the first. They're probably talking like the. Yeah, I guess they would call it home.
I guess. Microsoft is also removing Cortana from the Xbox One.
Or you got a preview of what they're going to call it on Xbox 2.
Maybe. Microsoft says it's moving to cloud-based assistance, meaning you can no longer talk to Cortana via your headset.
Oh, lame. Man, I always wanted to talk to her.
You'll still be able to power on an Xbox through the Xbox skill for Cortana woof, on iOS, Android, or Windows, just like the existing Alexa integration.
So I don't really give a shit about most of this, if I'm being honest.
Yeah,
I
thought it was interesting they're backpedaling on their own, like the Cortana thing.
Yeah, but I mean,
redirecting.
As good as Xbox has been over the last like 2 to 3 years about their services and stuff, the Xbox One's life is tainted with backpedaling.
Yeah, I think this is just more indicative of like the direction going forward with the focus on Game Pass, Mixer,
right, and
online services.
And I think the big thing of them getting you better access in the form of quicker access to Game Pass titles is massive.
And just so you know,
because Game Pass is awesome.
This
except for when,
week,
admin problems for you.
Yeah, I know, right? This week, its theme is going to be things we don't give a shit about.
Oh, our podcast is things we don't give a shit about week?
Yeah, the news for this, the theme for this news.
I can't wait. I can't wait. I love things we don't give a shit about week. We should have that week. We should either have that week or that month, because we haven't done a bonus episode in a while.
Yeah.
So we should either have that week or that month once a year, where it's just shit we don't care about, and just form opinions the same way we've always done. Send me topics for things I don't give a shit about. I'm dead serious. Tweet at gamers2 or gamers_2, whatever go find it. Gamers2 on Twitter. Tweet them things we should talk about that you can guess that Matt and I don't give a shit about.
Bonus points if it irritates us.
Yeah, bonus points if we get mad. And we'll do an episode where we just put all of them together and hate our lives.
More than usual.
Yeah, more than the average week. Number 2, Amazon appears to be discontinuing its Prime Video service on Wii U consoles beginning in September. A user on Reset Era shared an email from Amazon stating that it would no longer be supporting Prime Video on the Nintendo Wii U beginning September 26th, 2019. Even with the removal of Amazon Prime Video, the Wii U still hosts a larger suite of video apps than the newer Nintendo Switch, including Netflix, Crunchyroll, and others. The Nintendo Switch so far has Hulu and YouTube as its main video services.
That last part I find insulting.
I find it insulting, but I also am not horribly surprised.
Yeah, it's surprising
because I don't think it's Nintendo saying we don't want you.
Yeah,
I think it's them just doing weird things about the company's not going forward with it.
It's funny to me that the PS4 and Xbox One are such a big I am confident in saying that if people own one of those consoles, they probably use it fairly a lot as far as streaming services.
I know
go.
somebody that's Xbox One has basically become the streaming console. And here's the thing though with the Switch. What does Nintendo tell you about the Switch? What do they always say? What have they always marketed the Switch as? One word.
I don't know.
Come on.
A mobile? I don't know.
No, the opposite. They've always marketed it as a console. What does every other person looking at it see? A mobile gaming device that doesn't have cell phone connectivity in it.
Yeah.
So how are you going to get everybody to watch everything? That's just doesn't make a lot of sense. Especially if you look more than the cover of the book into it. But I can see a lot of companies going but how would, unless they're home, and if they're home, they're probably already watching it on a different device anyway. So
it's just the weirdness of Nintendo to me, because I feel like if it was another company, it would have been a problem by now. But because I'm not saying that it's Nintendo. It's just Nintendo has this weird thing where they don't suffer from the same issues that another company might suffer from.
Right. They suffer almost uniquely Nintendo problems.
Yeah.
And they also suffer from the disease of not killing the Wii U. They should have cut that thing's head off. I would, as much of a joke it would be as if the Wii was still supported, that'd be one thing.
Mm-hmm.
But like,
the Wii just was.
Right. It just got, yeah, I know, it just came off. But it's like, I almost would have been okay if you told me the Wii was still supported and they stopped supporting the Wii U because nobody fucking owns a Wii U. At least a Wii people still owned and were using for, like, Wii U did not sell. So I can understand you just being like, lop, gone.
Think about this. One day, in our lifetime probably, the Wii U is going to be a collector's item.
No, think about that. That won't be. Well, there's that. The other kick is like somebody won't know what a Wii is.
It's true.
I've already seen it.
It's already at that point, really.
It happened earlier in a baseball thread when somebody was talking about a single season like greatest closer or something. And somebody mentioned Francisco Rodriguez, K-Rod. That's what he was nicknamed as. And I immediately, it was like Eric Gagne. Eric Gagne had one of the greatest. He was 55 of 55 in opportunities. And like, I was like, him. And a bunch of people were like, no, this guy, Eric Gagne, yada, yada, yada. And then some people were like, well, Dennis Eckersley too. And I was like, yeah, Eckersley. But Eckersley was before my time. I didn't get to watch him play. I watched Gagne play. And Eckersley had a great season, but I still almost argue that Gagne's was bigger. And somebody called him out, and he's like, "Oh yeah, no, I was 5. I wasn't." I was just like, "Oh no, I'm old. I'm old." And then meanwhile, you talk to the parents, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I watched David Cohn, or not David Cohn. I watched like fucking Joe Torre play baseball," and I'm like, "He played baseball?" And then obviously I know that now, but back then when he was the manager, they're like, "Oh yeah, he played. He was a pretty good player and stuff." And I was like, "That man played baseball? What?" But yeah, it's the same, Eventually we'll get to all these things. People go back to our podcast and no one will ever look at it, so who cares? We're not going to become collector's items. I kind of wish we were.
Collector's items? I don't even know how that'd work. You collect my body parts and put me back together, Frankenstein style?
I mean, isn't that what autographs are?
I guess.
You collect autographs.
I never understood that, but
I get it. I have some. They're all upstairs. I have Sarks.
Yeah.
I got Rays.
Mm-hmm.
I got all of the Funhouse crew.
Mm-hmm.
The original.
It's one of those weird things where, like,
that's
crew. Like, I'm not, like, I don't take photos. Like, I don't generally, like, I'll just meet the person and I'm happy with that usually.
And even then, I still almost had to rope you into meeting Bruce that day.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't even really, like,
you didn't know it.
I was just like, yeah, you're a dude.
Yeah.
But at the time, I wasn't. I think now I would appreciate it more. At the time, I wasn't really watching Funhouse a lot, so it was like, I know who these people are. But
that trip was Greg.
Yeah. Which I would have preferred. Never mind.
We're fucking way off topic.
Yeah,
but
where are we at here?
3.
It looks like the Nintendo Switch has a problem.
It doesn't have Netflix.
Many users have reported that is out of all the services, it should have YouTube and Netflix. Which it has YouTube. Doesn't have Netflix. Although Netflix taking a shit lately. Anyways.
Yeah, so really are you concerned that it doesn't have it? I mean,
yeah, I guess it's not as powerful as as much of a streaming powerhouse as it once was. Many users have reported an issue that's being called Joy-Con drift.
Like Tokyo Drift?
Yeah, it's where they run around the house and drift around corners, racing each other.
Ah, it explains that they come out of Japan too. I see the connection.
Although they're not touching the joystick on their Nintendo Switch controller, the console still thinks it's moving, which is what drift is on a console. The issue is widespread enough for a law firm to open a class action lawsuit, but all hope is not lost. According to internal Nintendo documentation obtained by Vice, Nintendo plans to remedy the problem, Joy-Cons. Quote, customers will no longer be requested to provide proof of purchase for Joy-Con repairs. Additionally, it is not necessary to confirm warranty status. If a customer requests a refund for a previously paid Joy-Con repair, confirm the prior repair and then issue a refund. So this was a bigger story, and I turned it into a small story because it's closed, open and closed case here. There was a problem. People complained about it. Nintendo said, we'll fix it.
And then the entire time, somehow it becomes a class action lawsuit. I
Yeah,
have no
there was
idea
a
how that-
small window
Yeah.
where Nintendo didn't say anything in the course of, I think it was like maybe a week. And
Heaven
like-
forbid somebody has to test things and
Basically-
figure it out before.
yeah, the series of events is Kotaku releases a report saying people are having these issues. Everyone reads it and says, "Oh my God, I'm not the only one." Vice releases another report that's basically like Nintendo's like, we don't know what to do about this. Law place, whatever, law office is like, class action lawsuit. And then Vice again says, we got internal documents from Nintendo that say that they're going to fix the problem. There you go.
Problem solved.
Course of a week.
It's what we call an open and shut case, folks. Number 4. Pokemon Go has been invaded by Team Rocket, as Nate said earlier. They've taken over Pokestops, challenging trainers to fights and changing the kinds of Pokemon players may find. This is only spawned... Oh, damn it. This has only spawned the idea for Nate to go dress up like a Team Rocket trainer and fist fight children at Pokestops.
That's great. Actually, that's fantastic. What do you like it so far, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a cool little thing.
I've heard. I read briefly that there's not like the density of
Affected stops.
Yeah, it's like not as high as people want or something.
Yeah, that's true. Shut up, people fucking complaining. You probably live in a city where you have multiple options.
Yeah.
I have 2, maybe 4. If I get in my car, I have 4. And then if I want more than 4, I'm taking at least 5 to 10 minute trips places to get to more Pokestops.
Have you had an encounter with Team Rocket yet?
I have had 4 or 5 encounters so far.
Cool.
Both of these ones turned into it this morning.
Oh, nice.
And then I had ones at work yesterday. But while I was in Utica this morning doing like the grocery shopping, none of the ones there while I was there turned.
So in those cases, are they specific to you, or are they
No.
like?
I believe they're world triggered.
So if I defeat a Pokestop,
No. So the defeating of it, I believe, is specific to the person.
but
But the Pokestop itself becoming that is world triggered, is my understanding.
probably based on some algorithm or something.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just based on like a time thing.
Okay.
And then
Anything-
it lasts for so long, so you only have that like 30 minutes, probably 30 minutes to an hour to go spin that stop, fight the trainer, hopefully beat the trainer. That spawns the option to capture a shadow Pokemon from Pokemon XD, Shadows of Darkness, that nobody remembers on the GameCube. And then once you've caught that Pokemon, you have a chance. You either have the choice to purify it, which increases its stats and does other things.
Nice.
It's a nice, let's keep
Event.
getting content. Keep going.
Mm-hmm. Anything else you want to add?
Shadows of Darkness, man. People forgot it. There's a guy with...
Look it up.
Yeah, there's a person with a giant fro. And it's like disco. Funky. It's all about that.
Nice.
I don't remember what his name is, but...
Probably something right on the nose. Disco
Afro
funky
Jim.
fro.
Afro Jim. I don't know.
All right, number 5. The release of MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries has been delayed again.
Mech Warrior.
Mercenaries was originally slated to launch sometime in 2018. In December of that year, the team pushed it back to September 2019. In today's announcement, the team said it now needs an additional few months to, quote, put considerable... I have like this, like... It's like cotton mouth going on.
See, you're cottonmouthed and I'm sweating.
I'm sweating profusely. But my mouth
it's
is
a little
still...
warm in here, but now I'm feeling the things start to drop in my body.
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
like, whew, all right, yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
what's up? Indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea, Pepto-Bismol.
Yeah, I'm having those issues, but there's something going on with my mouth. Where was I? Quote,
That's the Red Bull.
yeah, I think it is. To put considerable more quality into the game while also giving us the time needed to localize to other languages and to put considerable effort into marketing the game's release, end quote. On top of the delay, Mercenaries will now launch as an Epic Games Store exclusive for a period of 1 year. Fans upset about either the delay or the shift from the Steam marketplace can request a refund. The deadline for requesting a refund is September 1st.
So they hit you, they have you in the first half where they think things are going bad. Like, we got a delay. We have to put considerably more
Effort.
quality
Yeah.
into the game. Like, oh, we were going to release this like a piece of shit. But like, oh, hold on. Let's not do that. And then they flip it where they're like, by the way, we're like, fuck Steam. We're also out of here. We're going to Epic Games Store. We understand, though, if both of the things we just said upset you, we'll give you a month in like a week window. Request your refund. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you for listening to my TED Talk.
We'll see you in 1 year on Steam.
Yeah.
So it goes like sand through an hourglass. Another game to the Epic Games Store.
It's starting to add up.
Number 6. Speaking of weird business things,
Things we don't care about.
North American organization EchoFox has submitted a proposal to sell its franchise slot for League of Legends Championship Series. According to ESPN, EchoFox is selling the slot to Kroenke Sports and Entertainment, owner of Arsenal, the Denver Nuggets, and the Los Angeles Gladiators, for $30 million. The deal still needs to be approved by Riot Games. The sale of EchoFox's slot was prompted by a deadline set by Riot Games. Riot gave EchoFox 60 days to remove minority owner Amit Rezada from its cap table following reports of Rezada's use of racist language toward a business partner.
Interesting.
Yep.
Doubling down. Selling slot.
I think the biggest realization
Instead of kicking the dude out.
Well, yeah, the biggest realization for me with this whole thing is that Kroenke owns Arsenal, the Denver Nuggets, and the Los Angeles Gladiators.
Yeah.
You own Arsenal, a top 6 club in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
You own the Denver Nuggets, who finished second in the West last season. Not the Los Angeles Gladiators, but okay, yeah. $30 million is for EchoFox what Arsenal spent for, I think, one player so far this summer.
Yeah. They own something else too, but I can't remember what it is. Another esports team.
Well, there's also multiple branches of Kroenke. There's the sports stuff, and then there's another. It's the father or somebody owns the Rams.
Yeah, that was the other thing. Yeah,
It's another member of the family solely owns the Rams, but the organization owns all the other stuff.
Yep. Number 7. A Disney investor thinks that Disney should acquire Activision Blizzard.
Sorry.
Gerber Kawasaki Inc. That's a good name.
Wait a second. Babies Motorcycles Incorporated.
Yeah.
I like it.
Basically. Gerber Kawasaki Inc. told Bloomberg.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to make one called Pampers Mercedes.
Told Bloomberg that it's an ideal time for Disney to make the acquisition, with Activision share price dropping over the last few months. Gerber Kawasaki Inc. owns over $22 million worth of shares in Disney and $4.3 million in Activision. Activision is currently valued around $37 billion.
Thoughts?
I mean, if they're going to go all in, now would be a great time to buy Activision Blizzard. But
I
don't think that's their business plan. So
no, but now that John Drake's there, he's not usually that level. He usually, I think, has the smaller stuff that he brings in, but he could. I would only hope that this is just me hating Activision for not really many actual good reasons worth of hating them, but them just being like, oh, no, we just want Blizzard. Like, the rest of you guys, no, we just want them. That's all.
I wonder how that would work if they did do that.
Well, because technically they're still we went over this before, but Blizzard's still one thing and Activision's still one thing,
Yeah.
but they're together under the yada yada. So they'd probably have to break that up, and then
I wonder
two separate entities again, and then
I wonder if Disney would just buy the whole thing and then spin off.
they buy the whole thing and then tell Activision to get the fuck out.
Yeah, basically.
we'll take care of the legal stuff in house. Just like
Goodbye.
you can still be Activision, but like we don't care for Call of Duty. And that's the only thing you own now.
Yeah. I mean, I get the idea, like, from a, like, it'd be cheap right now.
Right. It could
But-
easily turn into the Marvels discussion where they're like, oh, $4 billion?
Mm-hmm.
All right, how much have we made? Oh, like 150 billion? Oh, yeah.
It's
so
the
37 billion at Activision Blizzard
Mm-hmm.
could turn into 100 if they nail down, like, the next MMO and yada yada for like whatever WoW's successor is, Diablo 4. Like there's enough potentially coming out of Blizzard where I could easily see them going like, oh yeah, sure, everybody like hates you right now. Yeah, we'll come under our umbrella, we'll fix everything.
The only way I could justify it is if Disney was buying it to try to break open the esports.
So I
side
could
of
see
it.
them try to break open the esports. There's multiple things. I could see them try to break open the esports side. I could also see them try to give Blizzard the Overwatch cinematics and stuff it's wanted. Like, we've always said Blizzard does great cinematics.
As like an adult Pixar.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, Blizzard's always had great cinematics, especially with Overwatch and stuff. But Disney could just be like, go make your movie. Like, we'll give you the Pixar team.
Yeah.
While that way you can still work on the game, and then you can idea concept for them to actually do your... Like, there's a lot of things there they could do. They could also give them the rights to do Avengers things.
True.
And after everything they've seen with Square, they could just be like, Activision, take Avengers, please. Like, I know other people hate you, but at least your game looks better.
And Star Wars.
Well, Star Wars, I don't know if they would give to either of those. They might give it to Activision, but I highly doubt it. I think they would much rather walk that off to like a Ubisoft or somebody that's more creatively driven.
Interesting, nonetheless. Food for thought.
Or after they saw what like Crystal Dynamics did with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Not a. I mean, they're a known studio to us, but
Yeah. Well, that's the
normie. Oh God, shoot me! Why did I say that? Oh no.
That's why it's hard for me to imagine this because Disney doesn't like to like. As far as video games go specifically, they'd much rather leave all their options open.
And they take very calculated risks. I think.
Yeah.
They don't.
They're not like Google or. They don't just willy-nilly, it's like, I'm going to try this out, and if it doesn't work, I'll pull the plug.
What if they bought them, and then they told Activision to make a new Indiana Jones game to go coincide with a new movie? Snakes. Why did... Number 8. The setting for Dragon Age 4 has been mostly confirmed due to an upcoming short story collection. It's been rumored that the next installment of Dragon Age would take place in the Tevinter Imperium. The collection of short stories called Dragon Age Tevinter Nights seems to confirm that. While every other nation that Dragon Age games have visited so far heavily restricts magic users and their abilities, Tevinter is ruled by mages and often serves as the silent threat to the other countries. Do you remember how Inquisition ended?
Yes. The game or the DLC?
Did you play the DLC?
I didn't, but I know how it ends.
Because didn't we, when we I remember somewhat. Because I know technically we have different endings. Like,
Yeah.
the ending is the same, but your character's paths that you were with are potentially different based on choices and stuff. And I know we were not exactly the same in things we had.
Yeah.
I think, like, Cole did stuff different for me, whatever. But I think we both agreed that, like, Solus was supposed to become the next crazy...
Yeah, Solus is an old god or whatever.
Yeah, he's an old god. And then I don't remember how the DLC goes.
That was it just doubled down on the Solus stuff, basically.
Because we saw that right before the DLC came out when we finished the game. And we're like, oh. Solus.
You basically, if I remember correctly, you basically find out that Solus and Morgan's mother, I don't know if you remember that whole storyline.
I think I do a little bit, but...
Are both like old gods, kind of, and there's like a whole thing with them, and yeah.
Of course.
there's that, and then there's the whole like Tevinter subplot.
Right, yeah,
going on.
because Tevinter has always been mentioned, and
Yeah, they're always the people that. Oh my god.
yeah. But can we agree that before we see Dragon Age 4, they need to do a lot of inward looking?
So here's the thing that's I'm up.
Are you worried? Are you worried?
Of course, I'm intrigued because I've played all the Dragon Age games. I've liked them. I really am excited about the idea of the Tevinter Imperium.
Right.
But everything else we've heard about Dragon Age and BioWare is
not good.
Yeah, it's like, okay, we're going to have this great setting, this thing that we've been working towards for 4 games, and then you're going to fuck it up. So,
what if I told you were on this giant world with this giant open thing, you had these mech suits, you flew around, and there were weather systems, and the game didn't crash, and there weren't loading problems, and everything was in great detail, very unique abilities between all these classes, and then we fucked all that up at launch.
And then we gave you none of it. None of it.
And then our first expansion DLC we said will take 8 weeks to go over because we have to, every week we release a new part of it, make sure it doesn't break on the live servers.
One of these days, we'll have to take a... We'll have to peek in. This is what we should do.
It might be during the fall.
When we have EA access for something.
Well, for me, it would be the fall. Because
we'll have to peek into FIFA. Anthem again and see where it's at.
Yeah. I might do it for FIFA just to play with FIFA for a month and see. So I'll probably get FIFA, Madden, and Anthem all in that month and just go, ooh, what's going on over here? Ooh, what's going on over here?
Ooh, piece of candy.
Oh, yeah, because it'll be, ooh, piece of candy, black licorice. Who leaves black licorice? Everybody leaves black licorice because it's terrible.
It is. It's disgusting. Number 9, according to Deadline, Hulu is making a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy television series. Carlton Cuse from Lost, Jason Fuchs from Wonder Woman are set to executive produce and write the series.
Do you give a shit about Hitchhikers?
Yeah, I kind of like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
I've never read it, and I therefore don't care.
Because
I've never read it.
I know I've never read it. I've watched the movie. I've listened to the radio broadcast. That's about it. Because it started off originally as a radio broadcast.
Right. It's the thing where it's like at a certain point, I probably should watch it. Mm-hmm. It's the same with.
Have you never seen the movie?
No. It's the same with being the fake nerd I am to probably the internet community. Firefly, Half-Life, yada yada. Hitchhikers. Mm-hmm. Like there's a bunch of boxes I don't check.
It's like you don't.
It's like I hate everything that's popular.
Yeah, it's like you don't want to commit to those and have to be included with the rest of the.
I mean, I don't like the majority of the rest of them.
Yeah, that's
people group.
Yeah, that's the Hitchhikers is like it has potential to be fun.
Yeah.
So. And if you watch the movie, you'd probably be like, yeah, I could see where this would be fun.
Yeah. It's just the inner hipster and jock in me that's like, you're not that guy. And at the same time, I'm like, but did you see the frame rate in Fallout 76? It was actually looking pretty good. And you're like, what the fuck's wrong with you? And then I'll come on here and be like, well, Fallout 76 sucks. And then I'll be like, oh, I actually played it for an hour. Well, actually, that's terrible.
Did you see the thing I think it was on Reddit, the dude who's been doing daily updates on Half-Life 3 for like,
oh god, no.
Oh my god, it's obscene. Like he legit does daily updates on Half-Life 3 and he has like, I don't know, 900 and something.
Does he just refuse to admit it doesn't exist?
I don't know. I think at this point it's just one of those things that's like a joke.
Yeah. Hey, keep the joke going. Number 10 on Wednesday, Corsair announced that it had acquired the boutique PC maker Origin PC. Corsair has said that Origin PC will remain a separate brand from Corsair and will continue to offer custom gaming and workstation machines. But Max, relax.
Yeah?
But from now on, Origin PC will start to offer more Corsair products inside its systems. Both Corsair and Origin PC are private companies, so the terms of the acquisition are not available. Second company Corsair's bought in a couple of years.
Yeah, they're chewing through some shit.
But they're doing it right, as far as I'm concerned.
I'm impressed.
We own you, but
yeah,
you're just over there.
and out of all the
boutiques,
boutique PC makers, Origin PC is pretty fucking good. So,
and there's technically not many boutique makers left. You son of a bitch.
Going
you
for
bitch
it.
of a son. There's not many boutique makers left.
There's not.
Origin was one of the last ones to fall.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you could include like iBuyPower in there, but they're owned by someone else now, aren't they?
They might be. I mean, like NZXT, Corsair, and Cooler Master, and those guys still exist. But
I think iBuyPower and NZXT have some sort of relationship.
They might, but I've also never considered NZXT, Cooler Master, and those ones as boutique PC shops, where Origin and iBuyPower that are usually just the consoles.
Mm-hmm.
Like NZXT and Cooler Master, those guys also just do all the parts and peripherals and stuff like that.
NZXT, Cooler Master, and like Corsair are kind of on the same, not same level, but the
Logitech's
same.
in there too and stuff like that. But then Origin was in there with Alienware and iBuyPower and yada yada.
Yeah.
But Dell owns Alienware, so.
Yep. Finally, number 11, last for our weekly Cyberpunk 2077.
Tell me we are
news.
not going to have this as a weekly segment.
No.
Thank God.
CD Projekt Red said the following via Twitter, quote, "Every person that buys the game gets exactly the same in-game content, no matter if they buy it in pre-orders, on release dates, on the release date, or 2 years later."
Boom, mic drop. That 2 years later is going to come back to bite you, though.
Probably.
I agree with pre-orders or release date, but you will somehow shoot yourself straight in the foot on 2 years later. And somebody will pull that exact quote and go, well, it's, it's 846 days, so I should still be able to get everything that's been out since then for the same price. Right?
Right.
It'll be like, well, no, we meant the base game, you idiots. And then there'll be a whole Twitter arguments, because that's what we do nowadays. Boom, that's it. QuakeCon's going on, if you care about Quake, or I guess other Bethesda things they're talking about there.
Yeah, I didn't notice anything huge, so I just
the only
left it as is.
The only thing I've noticed so far is that Doom 2, and Doom 3 are now available, I think, on every console.
Yes.
Which Switch included in that.
Oh, yeah, speaking of Logitech, you mentioned it briefly for a second there.
Well, I know that, but...
I picked up a Ultimate Ears wireless speaker, which is owned by Logitech.
Okay.
Thing's pretty fucking dope. It has insane battery life.
Cost?
Well, I got it on clearance, so it's normally like $180. I got it for $50.
Ah, the good old 75% clearance.
Yes. And it has a 20. It advertises a 20-hour battery life, and I was like, "There's no way."
There's way?
There's way. I watched like 2 episodes of Stranger Things, and the battery life went down by 1% on
now,
the app
is this
indicator.
a sound bar?
It's
large speaker?
one of those 360-degree like tube style cylinder style speakers.
Okay.
So,
but I guess that's the question I was more going towards. Is it meant for like entertainment system sound, or is it meant like I'm gonna hook up my phone and blast some beats?
I'm gonna hook up my phone and blast some beats.
Okay, but you were using it in an entertainment sound setting.
Yeah. So I use it like when it's waterproof as well. So I bought it specifically to use in the kitchen when I'm washing dishes and watching iPad stuff. Because the iPad speakers are just not quite loud enough.
That's why I have the 40-inch TV in the kitchen behind me.
I mean, you're
'Cause
extra.
I'm an idiot.
You're extra.
Well, I also just don't really know what else to do with the 40-inch TV that's technically spare.
True.
It works.
Yeah.
And I have the Home Mini there, too, for Google to ask me things. I've also been told that I've said, hey, thing's name, and it has prompted on other people's things that have listened to this podcast.
Oh, nice.
Whoopsie.
You got to come up with some weird command that works and...
Ayo, bitch.
Jesus.
Yeah, but that's it. Matt and I are going to quit doing the dance and sweating here. And
I don't know. It's not even like super hot.
No, it's just, there's that fan probably could have been on to, it would, if that fan was on, it would immediately fix all the problems we were having.
Probably.
Plus, we're also just meat sweating.
Yeah.
But hey, I've lost weight, so I'm feeling good. I put another 6 pounds back into me, but
I was gonna say I wish I could say the same.
But I've been like randomly, like I'm not trying to, but it's just been happening. I noticed a couple weeks ago I went to put on my pants like normal, and I was just like, there feels like there's a big. That shouldn't be. And that's when I stopped in to get that battery because I was like, oh, my scale's dead because I haven't used it in forever.
Oh.
So I put the battery in and put it and stood on it, and I was like, oh, I'm down from where I thought I was. What the I haven't done anything different. Except I almost died for that 1 week.
I mean, you're playing more volleyball.
And I'm playing competitive volleyball.
Yeah.
So it's a mix between playing competitive volleyball, which I actually have to move, versus rec volleyball, where I don't have to do anything. And I'm sweating all summer.
Yeah.
So I'm sweating it out.
I started...
I'm also on a more water kick.
Yeah. I loosely started tracking my calorie count. And
I haven't done that.
It's eye-opening.
Oh, I'm sure. That's why I don't want to do it. I start cutting back on a lot of things and like not snacking as much, or just trying to control when I eat. And then I'm like, all right, I'm not going to worry about what the calories are. I just know that I've cut a lot out by switching things I'm eating and how I'm eating. But I'm not going to, look at those numbers because nope.
Yeah.
Don't want to know.
The next phase, I mean, I'm doing this now, but it's not going to matter because nothing's going to change in time for the wedding. Well, so, we'll see what happens. But the next phase is I either have to figure out an exercise situation or actually start adjusting the diet to, we'll see. We'll see.
I wish you luck. Godspeed, sir.
Yeah, probably nothing will happen. I'll just be like, it sucks. I'm getting fat. Oh, well.
As is tradition. All right, well, that's our random health update. Hey, in case anybody else was curious, my blood pressure's fine. See you later. Bye.